I want to ask you a question.
Okay, shoot.
Is there such a thing as truth?
No. There is no such thing as truth.
Is that really what you think?
It is.
No, I don't think that's what you think.
Yes, it is. I ought to know what I am thinking.
So it's really true that you think that?
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
But you said it isn't.
No. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
When did I say that?
When you said there is no such thing as truth. Didn't you say that?
Yes, and I stand by it.
So it's really true that you think that?
Yes, it is true that I think there is no such thing as truth.
No, it isn't. Not according to you, anyway.
Wait, Oh. Now I get it. Look, you confused me. Can we just try this again?
Perhaps you confused yourself. Anyway, I didn't confuse you. All I did was ask you a question, and then I tried to help you understand your answer.
Whatever. Can we just try it again, please?
Okay. Do you think there is such a thing as truth?
Well, I am a little confused about it, but I still think there is no such thing as truth.
Are you quite sure you want to say that?
Yes, I am.
So, in all the universe, there is no such thing as truth.
Right.
So it would be correct to say that there is no truth anywhere?
Yes, it would.
And it would be accurate to say that there is no truth anywhere?
Yes, it would.
And would it be true to say that there is no truth anywhere?
Yes, it would.
So there is truth in the claim that there is no truth anywhere?
Yes, there is. Oh dear. I wish you would stop confusing me.
I wish you would stop blaming me for your confusion. I have not even said anything yet. I've only asked you questions.
But you don't understand me. Let me try to explain myself.
All right.
The thing is, well, it's not that nothing is true. It's just that I don't think there are any, big truths out there.
What sort of big truths?
Like morals and ethics, and religion.
So there's no such thing as a moral or religious truth, but there are other kinds of truth.
Right.
Okay, is it true that 2 and 2 make 4?
Yes.
And is it true that Mars orbits the Sun?
Of course.
But it's not true that God exists.
Well, no.
So it is false that God exists.
Not exactly. If I believe in God and you don't, then that is true for me, but not for you.
So God both exists and doesn't exist.
No, God exists for me, but not for you.
So the truth about God depends on us.
Yes. One robot believes in God. Her belief is true for her. Another robot believes there is no God, and his belief is true for him.
So some truths are created by our beliefs about reality.
Yes.
So if I don't believe in God today and do tomorrow, God will just start existing for me literally overnight?
Yes.
So if I start believing that the Sun orbits Mars tomorrow, will that happen overnight too?
No.
Now is God bigger than Mars, or than the Sun?
Yes, God is the biggest.
Now if I can do a big thing, would I be able to do a smaller thing too?
Of course.
And are you also smaller than God?
Of course.
Very well, then. Maybe I will just stop believing that you exist. Then you will stop existing.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will. That's what you said.
No, it isn't.
But you said I can make God exist overnight.
Yes.
And that's a big thing.
Yes.
And I can do smaller things.
Yes.
And making you not exist would be a smaller thing.
Yes.
So what do you think about all this?
I think we must have made some mistake. But I'm not sure what it is. Well, I think it's high time you said something for yourself, and stopped asking me all the questions.
I'd love to, but first I'd like to take stock of our situation. And maybe we should define truth while we are at it.
Yes, what is truth, anyway?
I think truth is what you have when a statement correctly describes reality, when it fits reality, or corresponds to reality.
Okay.
Now this all started when I asked you whether truth exists.
Right.
You tried to deny it at first, but it's rather difficult to deny that any truth exists.
Yes, it is.
Then you suggested that moral and religious statements are never true, even though other kinds of statements are.
Right.
But you don't think they are false either. You think they are in a different category altogether, of things that are true for the person who believes them and false for those who disbelieve.
Yes.
I've noticed that this is a very popular idea these days. But it means that we can create and destroy God simply by changing our beliefs about God. But I cannot make you appear and disappear just by changing my beliefs about you.
Maybe that's because, even when you think I don't exist, I'm still here thinking I exist.
Well, if you can preserve yourself by thinking, why can't God?
Maybe God isn't thinking. Maybe God is just a name for our ideals.
But that's not what the word God means. And that's not what religious robots mean when they talk about God. They mean a God bigger than our personal ideals, one that can't be created or destroyed by our beliefs about him. They also mean a God who is thinking.
Maybe I don't believe in that kind of God, even though I do believe in God.
You asked me to tell you what I think.
I did.
I think you really don't believe in God. I think you really believe God doesn't exist. But you're not completely non-religious. You believe that our ideals are very important, so important that think they deserve to be called God. Is that about right?
Yes. Yes, I think that's it.
Well then, I also think we should try hard to be very careful what words we use. You accidentally said several things that are not true about God, which you don't believe anyway.
But why couldn't I call those ideals God?
Is there a difference between God, with a capital G, and gods, with a lowercase g?
There is.
Then, at most, these very important personal ideals of yours should be called gods, with the lowercase g, and not God. That's what I think, anyway, so I don't see how we can avoid the statement, God exists, being either true or false but not both.
Oh, all right.
I wonder if you could tell me why you think mathematical and scientific statements can be true, but not moral and religious statements.
Well, there is a difference between values and facts.
You mean that mathematical and scientific statements are matters of fact, but moral and religious statements are about values?
Yes.
Well, what is a fact?
A fact is something that has been proven.
So is it a fact that Mars orbits the Sun?
Yes.
But was there a time when this wasn't proven yet?
Yes.
So is it a fact then?
Well, all right. Let's say a fact is a thing that can be proven, or has been proven already.
Doesn't our knowledge have limits?
It does.
So we can never know all the facts there are to know?
I suppose.
So there are necessarily some facts which we cannot know.
Well, maybe a fact is a thing that can in principle be proven, even if not all of them can be proven at once.
But isn't there a fact about the exact number of stars there are in the universe?
Yes.
But can that fact ever be proven?
Well, maybe not.
Would you mind if I suggest a definition of fact?
All right.
I think a fact is a true statement. Because it is true, we cannot disagree about a fact and both be right.
Okay.
All right. And what is a value?
A value is what a person feels is right.
And are there any facts that are values?
No. There couldn't be.
So no moral statements are facts?
None.
So instead of describing the way things are in reality, moral statements just
describe our feelings about reality.
So we can disagree about moral statements and both be right?
We can.
Very well then. Would you be upset if I came over there and slapped you for no reason?
A little.
And what if you found out that I were a serial robot killer?
I would be quite upset.
But would you try to stop me from killing again? Would you call the Martian police?
Yes.
Because serial killing is wrong?
Right.
But according to you, we can disagree about that and both be right. So if it feels good to me, serial killing is right. That's what you said.
Yes. I suppose I did.
And the same goes for slavery, racism, rape, and adultery.
Yes. Yes, I suppose it does. Once again, I'm all confused now, thanks to you.
Well, I have not made any case of my own, at least not yet. I'm not saying that some moral statements are facts. I'm just saying that I don't understand why you think none are.
Well, look. Isn't it obvious that people disagree about morality?
Very obvious. So what?
What do you mean, so what? Obviously, if there were any real moral truths, there wouldn't be so much disagreement.
So if a lot of people disagree on a statement, it's not true.
Yes.
And not false either.
Right.
Just a matter of personal feelings.
Yes.
But are there scientific disagreements?
Yes.
So is science a matter of personal feelings too?
No.
Why not?
Because there isn't as much disagreement about science.
But is there any scientific claim everyone agrees on? I mean, that no one objects to? No one at all.
Well, perhaps not.
And aren't there some scientific statements on which there is a great deal of disagreement?
There are.
And isn't there such a thing as a moral principle on which everyone agrees, or just about everyone? I mean, is there anyone who actually approves of killing people just for fun?
Well, no.
So if statements on which a lot of people disagree are neither true nor false, then some scientific statements turn out to be neither true nor false, just matters of personal feeling. And some moral statements turn out to be either true or false.
Well, I will have to think about that.
Is there some other reason you think moral statements are all that different from scientific statements?
Well, there just isn't any certainty in ethics.
And only statements that are certain are true.
Right.
And there is certainty in science.
There is.
So all scientific claims are certain?
No. But some are. The ones that everyone or practically everyone agrees on.
But can any scientific statement be certain when nothing in physics is certain?
I don't see how.
Have you heard about the robot scientists who observed particles traveling faster than light? That could change everything in physics. So nothing in physics is certain.
Oh.
So if uncertainty means no ethical statements can be true, then no scientific statements are true either. And all reality is created by our perceptions, not just moral reality. But is that what you really believe? I mean, I do meet a few robots who think that all reality is created by our perception, and that 2 and 2 make 7 for the person who believes that. But is that what you really believe? When you're driving your robot car, do you still stop at a stoplight because you don't want to be hit by another car?
Of course.
Would being hit by another car cause you harm?
Yes.
Even if you were to try very hard to believe otherwise?
Right.
So you do believe there are some truths. Since you can't explain why moral claims are so different from other claims, and since other claims can be true, you should give me a better reason to doubt the existence of moral truths, or perhaps you should consider the possibility that they do exist after all.
All right. All right. I know why moral statements cannot be true or false, but scientific statements can.
Why is that?
Because moral statements don't describe real things, and scientific statements do. Because science is about matter.
So only matter is real, and science studies matter. But morality isn't about matter, so none of it is true.
Right. All truths are about the physical world.
That's very interesting.
Why?
Well, I think we agreed that a true statement is one that correctly describes reality.
We did.
Is it true that 2 plus 2 equals 4?
Yes, it is.
What reality does that statement describe?
Well, Actually, now that you mention it, I have no idea. What do you think?
I rather like the idea I read about in a book by a very old robot philosopher.
What idea is that?
The idea that not all that exists is matter. Reality isn't limited to the physical world.
That's interesting.
It is, and it might tell us what reality is described by the statement that 2 and 2 make 4.
You mean, mathematical statements might describe non-physical reality?
Precisely.
But couldn't they describe physical reality?
How?
Well, a statement like 2 plus 2 equals 4 just describes what happens when we put two things made of matter with two other things made of matter and get four things made of matter.
Well, I can see how some statements are like that. For example, the statement 2 rocks and 2 rocks make 4 rocks, but we are talking about the statement that 2 and 2 make 4, not 2 physical things and 2 other physical things. Just 2 itself and 2 itself.
But I think the statement that 2 and 2 make 4 is meaningless except when it's referring to real things.
And by real things, you mean things made of matter.
Of course.
But then the statement 2 and 2 make 4 cannot be true.
It can't.
Because it doesn't refer to any physical thing.
Right.
But if reality is not limited to matter and things made of matter, then it could be true.
It could. But I don't believe in non-physical reality.
And are you comfortable saying that 2 plus 2 equals 4 isn't true?
No. But if that's what follows from all reality being physical, then I may have no choice.
Well, simple robot that I am, I can't shake the feeling that it is true that 2 and 2 make 4. So I can't shake the feeling that reality probably isn't limited to matter, or to things made of matter.
I think we need more time to think about this.
I agree.
Where does this leave morality?
Same place as it was before. You don't think there is such a thing as moral truth. I am not trying to convince you that it's. But I think you have not very well explained the view that there isn't, because you have not told me why moral statements are so different from scientific and mathematical statements. You have an interesting view of reality which allows scientific statements to be true, but not moral statements. Unfortunately, your view makes it impossible for pure mathematical statements to be true. On your view, the statement, 2 and 2 make 4, is not true, and not false either. It is simply meaningless. So I'm still puzzled by your disbelief in moral truths.
But it just wouldn't be right for me to believe that there is one right way. For everybody.
Wouldn't be right. But it wouldn't be wrong, according to you.
But I don't want to impose my personal views on others.
Why not? There's nothing wrong with that according to your view.
Maybe there is. Maybe there is one moral truth. Just one.
What's that?
You shouldn't impose your moral views on others.
Why not?
Because no moral principles are true.
You mean because only the one is true, only the one about not imposing any of the others.
Right.
But is this moral principle really true?
Yes. Yes, I think it is.
But if there really is one moral principle that is true, why can't there be more?
Well, I think I had better give it some more thought.
Fair enough. But you already are imposing your morals on others.
No, I'm not.
Well, I didn't realize you were such a thoroughgoing anarchist.
No, I'm not.
But you said you were.
No. That's silly.
It may be silly, but it's what you said. You said you don't want to impose your values on anyone. In other words, you want to fire the police, shut down the courts, and empty the prisons.
Why would I do that?
Because those institutions are there to impose good morals on people who don't live by good morals. That's what they're there for, isn't it?
I suppose it is. I will have to think about it and get back to you. But it's getting late.
It is. Perhaps we could agree to talk about truth some more another time.
All right.